Hello and good evening. I'm meteorologist Sean Mack, and I hope you're staying safe wherever you're watching from. We're going to be doing these updates every half hour up until our 9 o'clock newscast. Until that point, we still have some more snow to get through across the Twin Cities, across Minnesota, across Wisconsin. Right now, a wider view. Here's Wisconsin. Here's Minnesota, Twin Cities. We've been dealing with the snow for a while. The heavy snow started earlier this morning. It continued into some lighter fluff at around 2, 3, 4 o'clock. We're still feeling that lighter fluff. But over the past couple of hours, and really over the past hour, there's been a new band that has developed right here that is going to cause some problems just west and south of the city, with more blizzard conditions expected, worsening actually, just removed in the southwest side of the Twin Cities area. At times, some of that could maybe even sneak into the metro area. I'm talking the southwest suburbs. Snow totals we've had so far, not been a lot. The reason is, of course, the wind. The wind's blowing around all the snow that does fall. Wherever it finds itself. There's a lot of snow drifts. There's a lot of areas that have been wiped away with snow. It's a little bit difficult for a lot of folks because of that to measure the snow, but the reliable reports we do have so far, some of these are many hours old. Generally, it seems like the metro is at about 4 to 4.5 inches, give or take, at the moment. Just telling you right now how things have timed out. Some of those 2-inch reports were several hours ago. We do have areas where roads are completely closed. This is a view from the Minnesota Department of Transportation camera on I-35 just south of Owatonna. This is Steel Center. This road is closed. It's hard to tell because it's on night vision mode now, but if you look, here's I-35. And that white stuff, that's snow on the road. Snow is being blown onto the road. I-35 is a main artery, one of the main roads across the state, and it goes north-south. Most of this wind is coming out of the west-northwest, pushing all that snow onto it. It accumulates as snow drifts. It's also adding some ice on top of that, and that's why I-35 is closed south of Owatonna all the way to the Iowa border through Albert Lee. This is a live look at Maple Grove. It's not snowing as much, lighter at the moment. I do suspect that we'll get a little bit more of this fluffier snow coming down in greater amounts over the coming hours. It'll wax and wane as it will. We still have another 6 hours of some on and off snow. On the lighter side, yes, lighter than this morning, still snow nonetheless. Look at the temperature, 12 degrees. When I came in this early afternoon, it was 23. Earlier this morning, it was 32 degrees, around freezing. This is part of the story because we went from a lot of slush this morning. It's been a very warm week so far, and we've turned that to ice, a nice ice rink, if you will, on the roads. That is really complicating things underneath all the snow. These kids right here in Maple Grove on the ice rink, they're skating, through the snow, and you can see they have to really kick it to get going. We don't want that to be your car, so please stay safe and heed warnings and advisories. Right now, road conditions across most of the Twin Cities. In the blue, that's partially covered. In the pink, that's completely covered roads. That extends all the way down to Belle Plaine right there. Some still major arteries in the Twin Cities. Completely covered with roads. Side roads is where things really get dicey. It's where the Department of Transportation just can't get and clear the slush earlier and fast enough earlier this morning. And a lot of that is frozen on the side roads especially. So you'll find that maybe the major highways and the interstates in the Twin Cities, not as bad, even with the ice underneath it all, because the plows were able to clear that slush off this morning. You get on the side roads and the exit ramps, entrance ramps, that ice is still there, and it's not slush, it's ice, and then there's snow on top of it. You go south and west towards Winstead, towards Belle Plaine, everywhere south and west of those spots, and you can see the deep purple there. That is a travel not advised category, and that essentially means that you don't want to be out there because the Department of Transportation, Emergency Services, they're not saying they're going to be able to get to you or rescue you if you go off the road or you get stuck in a ditch within a reasonable amount of time. And that's part of the issue here, and why you want to just heed advisories. The southern portion of the state, west of the Twin Cities towards Hutchinson and Wilmore, and south pretty much everywhere of Faribault, including Rochester. You just want to heed those warnings. And please, unless it's emergency or absolutely essential travel, don't be going out just for the fun of it. Also, I do want to mention I-35 south of Owatonna is closed, not the rest of the interstates at this moment, although that is under a do not travel advisory. There was some update there that made it look like the whole thing was closed. No, it's just everywhere south of Owatonna on I-35. Latest radar, you can see heavy snow right here through most of western Wisconsin, but there's a new band which has just developed right here as these winds are really starting to turn a little bit more out of the north. Here's the wind direction. Here's that general band which is starting to take hold. It does not want to draw anything right there. There it is. That whole area right here is starting to fill in with a new snow band. It does kind of just skirt the Twin Cities right here, kind of closer to Eden Prairie where we are. But everywhere from Northfield over to Hutchinson, a lot of this is going to fill in with some blizzard conditions. This is where the snow and the cold temperatures and especially the winds are beginning to pile up. That's going to just shift a little bit southward over the coming hours. It's also going to catch a little bit of some snow developing on the backside, actually from the northeast for the Twin Cities. So we'll get a little bit heavier snow in the Twin Cities in about an hour or two. Really heavy stuff now starting to accumulate. Very fluffy, but still heavy just south of the Twin Cities and west of the Twin Cities, and that is going to cause some more problems. This has really just developed over the past hour or so. It's about to move into Mankato. It's about to move towards Owatonna right there. A lot of it is in Northfield, and as you get closer towards places like Belle Plaine, that's where the problems are really starting to compound. All of this is due to a very large low pressure system which is just getting stronger. This is now actually, it's a little bit more centered just to the northeast of here. Parts of Illinois dealing with tornadoes today, a tornado watch, this big red polygon you see right there. This low pressure system, it's taking on brief characteristics of a hurricane. As it gets really deep, the pressure rapidly drops. It gets lower, it's low pressure. And on the backside, because of that, the wind field grows. That wind field has grown consistently over the past couple of days, and what the expectation was. It still now extends all the way to North Dakota, all the way to Fargo, nearly to Bismarck. And because of that, we still have about 6 more hours of snow to go. Like I said, snowfall reports have been coming in slowly. I recorded in Eden Prairie about almost 2 hours ago, 4 inches. So we'll see. I'll probably step outside here soon and we'll see how much we currently got on the ground. But it's a little bit lighter at the moment, so maybe we'll wait for some of that heavier stuff to come in back out of the north. Winter weather advisories remaining in place through early tomorrow morning for the Twin Cities. Blizzard warning in effect for places like Wright County, Scott County, Carver County, and everywhere west all the way almost to South Dakota and south to Iowa. That includes the blizzard warning Rochester, Albert Lee, Owatonna, Mankato, Hutchinson, all those cities that I just named and everywhere close by. That's where it does look like conditions are going to get worse with the winds and the snow over the next hour to 3 hours or so as that band that I was showing you really starts to develop. Across the whole state, that extends all the way up towards Fargo and Moorhead. You can see right here, it's not as snowy up here, lighter snow, but those winds will probably start to pick up there big time here pretty soon. By the end of the night, and it seems that this just re-updated, so it's not showing you the colors, but we're expecting about 5 to 8 inches through a good central chunk of the Twin Cities metro area. A little bit less as you get closer to South Dakota, but generally most of us are going to be within that 5 to 8 inch range. You can see we already have like 3 to 4.5 across the area. We're probably doing another 1.5 to 3.5 through the rest of the night. Futurecast right here shows that very clearly. Here's all that snow. It really starts to dive out of the north, dive south. Watch the time here, midnight tonight. Last couple flakes, and we're done. But we're not done with the impacts. The impacts will linger because it's going to be windy. Look at these winds gusting 60 miles per hour in Morris. That was the peak wind gust we've recorded today. Elsewhere, 52 miles per hour in Rochester. A lot of wind gust reports close to 50 miles per hour in southern and western Minnesota. And that's driving all the snow on the roads like we've seen in I-35 and elsewhere. But also the wind chill, what it feels like outside, not pretty. It's down to around, at the current around point, It's feeling like it's 7, 8, 9 below, give or take where you are in the Twin Cities. Much worse as you get west and south, pretty much everywhere else. As we work forward into early tomorrow morning, that arrives for the Twin Cities. It'll feel like 10 to 15 degrees below zero as you're stepping out the door Monday morning. Elsewhere, 20 below or 25 below out west towards Alexandria. And things get a little bit better tomorrow afternoon. Not by much. Tomorrow's quite a cold day. Tomorrow's a cold day. Sunny, though. You get some sunshine finally peeking out, and it remains pretty quiet through the rest of the week. You get some clouds New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, cold still, but it's looking sunny. Today's the day, though, that you want to be weather aware. I expect conditions to linger with impacts on those roads between the ice. It's going to take a long time to deal with that as temperatures get cold overnight and the winds are still there early tomorrow morning. And I expect things to really start to improve later tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be doing these updates about every half hour, so that was just about 10 minutes. We'll be back at 7 o'clock with the latest. Until then, stay safe.